Now open at 743 Catawissa Road in Tamaqua. Stop by the Dairy Bar. Try over 33 flavors of homemade ice cream still made on the premises and a full menu of hot food made to order. Have some fun at their driving range or play mini golf on their two 18-hole mini golf courses. Heisler's Cloverleaf Dairy, celebrating 65 years. Same great taste, same great location, same great memories to be made.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information.
What happens at Lehigh Valley Health Institutes? What's next happens. Here, you'll find the most advanced innovations in heart and vascular, neuroscience, surgery, orthopedics, and cancer care. You'll find invaluable alliances like the one we have with Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. And one team, your team, singularly focused on getting you better. Here is where exceptional happens. Lehigh Valley Health Network. Your health deserves a partner.
Are you looking for the latest local news and events important to our Hispanic community? WYLN will keep you up to date on what's happening, from breaking news to special reports and local events, on our new daily Spanish language webcast, WYLN's Telediario, featuring me, Julia Wiegand. Follow our social media pages and website at WYLNTV.com every day to access WYLN's Telediario webcast. WYLN, we're your local network.
Much has changed over our 75 years, but the thing that never does, the anticipation, the holding of breath until that first green flag drops, and the crazy journey begins all over again. If you could travel 75 years from now, you might not recognize much at all, but one thing will never change, that feeling you get when the race begins again. Get your tickets now at PoconoRaceway.com.
Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. Our specialists use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central, here to ask you, is your kitchen ready for an overhaul? We offer free in-home consultation and design, no interest financing, professional removal and installation, countertop and backsplashes, hardwood and laminate floors, kitchen appliance sales, service and installation, and of course, everyday low prices. Grand Central in Hazleton, helping you make your house a home.
Attention WYLN viewers, WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network. We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
In 1830, Nanticoke was officially formed as a village from the surrounding Newport and Hanover townships. The North Branch Canal had become a staple in the community by then, but the railroads now slowly began to replace it. The first iron rails in the area had been laid in 1843. By 1852, the Lackawanna Railroad was in operation. Other lines soon appeared, including the Nanticoke Railroad, which was built in 1861. It would be bought out by the Lehigh and Susquehanna, and its route then turned leased to the Central Railroad of New Jersey. By 1882, the Pennsylvania Railroad was also running through town alongside the banks of the canal. The railroads would be joined later by trolleys as well, beginning with the formation of the Nanticoke Street Railway Company in 1891. Trolleys would operate in the city through 1950. Many of the railroads in Nanticoke would offer excursion trips to their passengers. One popular location was Hanover Grove, which opened in 1880 as a stop in the Lehigh and Susquehanna in Hanover Township south of the city. Featuring rolling hills and a stream, it was a prized location for local church and school picnics. By 1893, upgrades to the site were made, including the creation of an artificial lake, and its name was changed to Hanover Park. In 1905, rides were added, including the roller coaster Aerial Railway, and the name changed again to Sans Souci Park. For decades afterwards, it would delight the young and old, with rides including a carousel, train, tilt-a-whirl, and tumblebug. Plus, beginning in 1927, a second roller coaster, the Bearcat. A dance hall also graced the site, and Sans Souci never forgot its roots as a picnic grove, with organizational and ethnic picnics being held there each year. Sans Souci Park operated until 1970. Today, the Hanover Area Junior and Senior High Complex stands on its site. By the end of the 19th century, Nanticoke was booming. 4 coal breakers, the Loomis, Bliss, Auchincloss, and Truesdale, which at the time was the largest breaker in the world, operated in town, pulling thousands of tons of black diamonds from the earth. Numerous other businesses could be found in the city, from Sutliff's Drugstore to A. Lape & Company's Meat Market to the Fairchild Ice House, which sold ice out of Fairchild Pond in the winter. Beginning in 1895, Nanticoke also had its own brewery with the formation of the George W. Flock Brewing Company. 2 years later, it would be bought out by the Stegmeyer Brewery, which changed its name to the Susquehanna Brewing Company. It operated under this name until 1920, when Prohibition forced it to shut down. It was also in Nanticoke that a major national retail chain would get its start. Samuel Henry Kress, in 1887, opened a stationery store in the city, based off the 5 and dime format. 9 years later, he would formally incorporate his business as S.H. Kress & Company and launch an expansion, seeking to open stores not in major cities, but in smaller to mid-sized ones they felt had growth potential. His strategy paid off, and at its peak, the Kress chain had over 200 stores across the nation, many of them lauded for their exquisite architecture. Kress's vision made him a very wealthy man, and he would in his spare time become a world-renowned art collector. He would pass on in 1955. S.H. Crescent Company continued operating until it was bought out by McCrory's in 1981.
Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Daniel Weichman. A public meeting regarding the proposed waste transfer station in Hazleton drew a large crowd Wednesday evening. The transfer station would be used to sort and compact local waste prior to its removal to a landfill or incinerator. Representatives from the Department of Environmental Protection and from Northeast Waste Systems were in attendance to answer questions from the community pertaining to the project. Presenter Jennifer Fields was pleased with the meeting's turnout.
I was very happy to see the turnout. A lot of times when there's a public meeting, the turnout is not, but maybe a dozen folks. So this was a really good turnout, a great mix of folks from the community, and lots of good questions, lots of good concern, and a lot for us to take back.
Some of the topics discussed during the meeting included concerns about truck traffic and odor. Field states that these meetings are important because they shape the proposal during the application process.
Most of the concerns addressed, tonight from the public are part of the application process. So, for example, the application, we have to be very specific about what kind of waste we want to accept. So we are not accepting hazardous waste, and the application does not ask for permission to accept hazardous waste. There was concerns about odors, but the proposal has an odor control system. So these are some of the things that we're already addressing as part of the application process.
However, some citizens, like former Hazleton City Council member Jean Mope, still have reservations about the project.
I just don't think it's a good location for it. I mean, we have lots of mine lands that can be utilized and lots of areas that can be reclaimed. And this location just is not the best for our residents, including our hospital. My concern is if there's an ambulance that needs to go to the hospital for an emergency and it can't make it because the trains or the traffic is tying up that ambulance. What happens if the person dies? What happens if it's your family member? What happens if it's a friend? What happens if it's just somebody that you don't know, but they're a resident of the city who died needlessly because our traffic was held up through the train cars going by?
Spokesperson for the Department of Environmental Protection, Colleen Connolly, states that those who still wish to voice their concerns about the project will have another opportunity.
The community will get their chance to offer testimony or public statements about how they feel about this project. That'll be a public hearing. It'll be held here at the Hazel Township Volunteer Fire and Rescue Squad on Wednesday, June 21st from 6 to 9 p.m. It'll be recorded by a stenographer, and that testimony will become part of the public record as it relates to Northeast Waste Transfer System's permit application with DEP.
The proposed waste transfer station is to be built on East Broad Street near the entrance to the South Side Fire Station. In other news, a section of roadway within Girardville was closed late Wednesday afternoon for reports of a bomb within a building. We spoke to Girardville Fire Department's Fire Chief, Frank J. Zingari, about the incident. He wished not to be shown on camera.
Okay, the incident occurred a little after 3 o'clock. Girardville Police and myself as Fire Chief got called to 3032 West Main for a possible bomb. When we arrived here, the maintenance guy showed us the case and the picture, and it obviously was a bomb. We didn't know if it would be detonated, so we called in to the state police. They brought out the bomb squad and arrived very shortly afterwards, and the bomb squad took care of it. They detonated the bomb actually inside the building, and as firefighters went in to do a secondary search, we found a second bomb up in the ceiling tiles of the apartment building. Information was then given to the state police and the FBI in relation to who lived in the apartments, not only this time, but the last previous 5 years. The second bomb was detonated. Firemen left that property in the evening around 12:30, and we proceeded to another personal property on East Monty Avenue to search a person's home just to be sure there was no additional bombs in another building. So nobody was hurt. There were no injuries. All disciplines worked well together, and I'm happy to say today everybody's safe.
During the incident, those that lived in the area were urged to stay away from West Main Street, located between Richard and Line Street. On May 22nd, State Police responded to 1107 North Park Drive in Hazel Township around 1:51 a.m. for a report of an alleged assault that involved a gun. It was found through the investigation that 24-year-old Joan E. Tavares Rosario had approached Luis Fernandez, a former co-worker of Rosario, and began arguing with him. According to arrest papers, Tavares punched Fernandez in the head and face, which left him with bruising and contusions. During the assault, Tavares had pulled out a handgun and fired it at Fernandez. After the incident, Tavares fled to his own vehicle. However, before driving away, Fernandez stated that he saw him fire another round in the sky. 2 .40 caliber casings were found in the area. Tavares Rosario faces charges including aggravated assault, reckless endangerment, and simple assault. A woman was hit by a vehicle in West Hazelton on May 31st around 9 p.m. According to the West Hazelton Fire Company, 183 Station, Greater Hazelton Ambulance, and Medic 11 were dispatched to the area of North Broad Street and Monroe Avenue for a report of a motor vehicle accident and a pedestrian. Upon arrival, crews found a female laying in the roadway, semi-responsive. Crews were able to assist with caring for the individual and controlling traffic. The West Hazelton Fire Company states that the victim was sent to Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazelton with serious injuries. At this time, her condition and cause of the accident is unknown. A man is now in custody after state police allege that he was speeding on Interstate 80 in Luzerne County and was found with 26 pounds of suspected cocaine on his person. According to troopers, they spotted a vehicle speeding on Interstate 80 near Nescapec, going 83 in a 65-mile-per-hour zone around 12:20 a.m. on May 25th. After the vehicle was pulled over, the driver was identified as 35-year-old Yaziel Duarte Vasquez from Hazelton. Officers stated that they suspected criminal activity and asked to search the car. Within the search, officers discovered 12 kilograms of suspected cocaine and a vacuum seal bag that contained cash in the ceiling section of the rear area of the car. Duarte Vasquez has been charged with manufacturing, delivering, possession of drugs, use, possession of drugs, speeding, and driving with a suspended license. A man is dead following an incident where his ATV fell into a pond over the holiday weekend. Around 5:30 p.m. on Saturday, May 27th, reports arrived to Back Road in Barnesville, located at the Locust Valley Fish and Game Club, where an ATV had fallen into the pond, leaving a man under the water for an extended period of time. The Schuylkill County coroner responded to the scene later, where 72-year-old Arthur Heckman was pronounced dead at the scene. According to officials, Heckman had lived nearby the pond and frequently visited. Officials state that there was clues that Heckman had been driving his ATV near the pond along the edge. The Nanacoke City Fire Department responded to a house fire on Wednesday afternoon, where one victim was sent to the local hospital. According to the Nanacoke Fire Department, they responded to a report on West Grand Street around 5:24 p.m. Once arriving on scene, firefighters stated that they noticed heavy flames to the rear of the home. The Red Cross was called in to help those 4 people within the home find temporary housing. One person was sent to the hospital for smoke inhalation. Officials state that the fire was ruled accidental due to a grill extended to a shed attached to the house. Coming up on Wyln News, local state representatives met with the community to discuss their concerns and questions. Plus, June officially kicks off Pride Month. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow it's going to be cloudy.
Welcome back to Wyln News. State Senator David Argall and State Representative Dane Wacho invited the public to meet with them this morning for coffee and conversation. Members of the public were given full rein to ask about any state-related issue. Topics brought to the table included education issues, road and bridge improvements, and police coverage.
I was very pleased with the outcome. What Representative Watrow and I tried to do is to get around the district in Luzerne County and Schuylkill County and Carbon County and just ask people, what's on their mind, what can we help with. In some ways, I'm the complaint department for a 250,000 people, and we really got some good input today.
If you missed the event, Representative Wacho states that there will be many more to come.
The Senator and I, we plan on keeping our constituents informed. We want to hear back from them. We're going to be doing teletown halls where they're going to get robocalls, and we're going to go live with the people that work and that cannot attend here. We're looking at trying to kick our second one off in July.
The meeting took place at the Hazel Township Municipal Building at 8 a.m. The month of June has officially kicked off Pride Month, a time where those within the LGBTQ community celebrate the love they share, the trials and the struggles they continue to face. On Saturday, June 3rd, the city of Berwick will be holding their second annual Pride Festival, located at the Intoxicology Department. The festival will include craft vendors, carnival games, food stands, live music, and more. Admission to the festival is $5, and those 16 and under can participate for free. The festival begins at 9 a.m. The National Sisterhood United for Journeyman Lineman Rodeo is arriving once again at City View Park in Hazleton. This year, the rodeo will be taking place on June 16th and 17th. Check this out. These are photos taken from the event 2 years ago by the Hazleton City Police Department. The benefit rodeo is held to help raise funds for those families who have suffered a death of fallen and injured IBEW power line workers. On the eve of the rodeo, the organization holds the Climbing for Lost Linemen Memorial Lantern Ceremony that honors all those who lost their lives to the line during the previous 12 months. The rodeo is free and open to the public that includes food, vendors, entertainment, and plenty of activities for the children.
And I'm grateful.
Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro has been within the spotlight recently with his abundance of conversations, meetings, and press conferences. However, although all of them are planned, it's not public knowledge where and when the governor will show up. According to the Pennsylvania Office of Public Records, they've announced that Governor Shapiro does not need to make his calendar public. The office is an independent agency that handles right-to-know law disputes. In response to the recent ruling, Manuel Bonder, spokesperson for Governor Shapiro, stated that the office releases the governor's public schedule directly to reporters every day. Bonder added that Shapiro regularly visits communities all across Pennsylvania, including questions from reporters and constituents alike, and he will continue to be accessible to the people of the Commonwealth. Coming up on Lake Harmony's News Choice, Marty Burns is here on this hump day with Let's Talk Sports, along with a special interview with Ryan Prosick and the new Hazleton basketball coach. Plus, it's part 2 of Nanacoke on a Path Through History with Chris Fulmer. And stay with us for everything else we have lined up for you later tonight on Wyln TV.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Welcome to a Thursday edition of Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. And let's begin in the NBA. Boston Celtics were looking to make NBA history and be the first team to come back from 0-3 down. Instead, cold shooting, they would have been better off throwing tea into the river than the performance they gave on Memorial Day night, losing to the Miami Heat, getting the hopes up for all those Boston fans. And just to remind you, Boston fans, no Stanley Cup for you. NBA Finals start tonight. It'll be the Heat and the Nuggets. The Milwaukee Bucks apparently have a new coach. Coach Budenholzer brought them their first championship in over 50 years. That wasn't good enough for them. So what did they do? They went to a unproven head coach who's been an assistant coach his entire coaching career, former journeyman in the NBA, former Seton Hall standout Adrian Griffin to take over the Bucks, makes absolutely no sense to me. Speaking of no sense, the Philadelphia 76ers apparently have a new coach, and everybody's touting it as a coach that's won an NBA championship. Doc Rivers won an NBA championship. They have hired Nick Nurse from Toronto, who has ties to Daryl Morey. Let's get to some good notes here on Let's Talk Sports. Battling back from cancer, Liam Hendriks came back Memorial Day night. Didn't have the outing that he probably would have liked, but he is back pitching for the Chicago White Sox, and you certainly pull for somebody like that who's battled through that treacherous disease, cancer, and has fought his way back to Major League Baseball. And what's better than on Memorial Day a sun-soaked Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia? How about a sun-soaked Lincoln Financial Field and you hear the happy tunes of the Notre Dame fight song? For the first time ever in men's lacrosse, Notre Dame, national champions, they defeated Duke at the Link. Congratulations to the Fighting Irish. And now, we've been hyping it throughout the week. Senator Ryan Prosick with new head boys basketball coach at Hazleton Area High School, Pat Brogan.
Thanks, Marty. We got the opportunity to talk to new basketball head coach, Pat Brogan, and ask him what his thoughts are about being named the new head coach of the boys basketball team.
I'm excited. It's an honor to have this opportunity to coach at Hazleton. We've had a great tradition of basketball. It's been part of my life for over 40 years as a player, as a coach in the middle school ranks, and as a fan from afar. It's just been very impactful as far as giving me the opportunity to practice basketball and coach basketball and be a part of something big. Now to coach, it's a great opportunity. I'm really excited about helping Hazleton win some championships.
The basketball season is a long ways away, but that doesn't stop Pat from thinking about next season's goals.
Mine is always to get a team that can win the league championship first, and the district championship. And I know we've never won the Wyoming Valley Conference tournament championship at the end of the year, so that'd be a great first for us. And then to make a run at states. With the size of our school and the amount of middle schools we have, we should constantly be in the mix for a state championship run.
The goal will always be championships, but another one of Pat's main goals as head coach is to help the players learn.
Just being able to share my experiences as a player and as a coach from all the different areas that I've been lucky to coach at. I'm hoping to develop the players to be good student athletes, represent their community, their families, and put a good product on the floor that's going to work really hard and show kind of the blue collar attitude of Hazleton and also respect the tradition of the past successes we've had and building those successes.
They have a whole offseason of work, and we are eager to see how the Cougars and Coach Brogan do this upcoming season. He will return largely the same group of students from last year, losing only one graduating senior. Wyln will be there for Hazleton home games when the season tips this winter. Reporting for Wyln News, I'm Ryan Prosick.
Much has changed over our 75 years, but the thing that never does, the anticipation, the holding of breath until that first green flag drops and the crazy journey begins all over again. If you could travel 75 years from now, you might not recognize much at all, but one thing will never change, that feeling you get when the race begins again. Get your tickets now at PoconoRaceway.com.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.